Sat here forever.
Right. Oh. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. John. Right. If I can bring us all back together. It is lovely. It's lovely to hear so many people who've obviously done a lot with the summer, have got a lot to share with one another. Please, 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 can I encourage you to continue these conversations after the service? That'd be great. Now, it is my pleasure and my privilege to welcome our speaker for today and to welcome him back as well after 3 weeks at LPO. What can I say about Pete Sims? There's a lot that I could say about Pete. Pete is a wonderful person, as we all know. He is a wonderful speaker, but more than anything else, he brings such a sense of Father's heart when he shares, and I think that is one of the things that I appreciate most about Pete, and I know that what he has prepared is going to touch each and every one of us. So can we welcome him to the platform?
Thank you. Am I going to cause hassle if I perch on the front here? Is that okay? Keeping the camera people on their toes. Hello everyone at home, and hello everyone in the building. Good to see you. You can't see me that well, can you? Right, I'll sort of stand down here, but I want to chat to the kids for a bit. So, children, I would love to talk to you. So if you want to come to the front, that would be great. So any kids church children, anyone younger than that, I don't mind. Come and sit at the front for me, because I've got some questions I want to ask you this morning. That's it. Out you come. Hello. Thanks for coming, you legends. This talk always works so much better if there are children. Yay. Hello. I think this could be your first time. Oh, wow. Where have they been hiding? Hello, keep coming. This is brilliant. Okay, so my little talk, I don't know what I'll do really. I'll squat. Or I'll kneel down here. Then the people can see me, the grown-ups, the kind of boring ones, and then you guys can see too. So, I want to talk to you this morning, guys, about hide and seek. A classic game. And I want to ask you, are you any good at it? Put your hand up, kids, if you think you are good at hide and seek. Yeah? Okay, hands down. Put your hands up if you think you are good at hiding. Oh, yeah, lots of you are good at hiding. That's great. Hands down again. What about if you are really good at seeking? You can find everybody you look for. That's brilliant. Now, here's a question that I wonder how honestly you'll answer it. Are you a silent hider, or do you find yourself in a brilliant place, but after about 30 seconds, you start making noises? Ooh, haha, they'll never find me, and all that. So who is a noisy hider? Because you don't want to be in there all day after all. Okay, brilliant. And which of you, once you've found your hiding place, you can stay there all day? You'll just be a sleeping lion because you are playing the game properly. Okay, that is good to know. Okay. Yeah, I think that's true. The comment was, once everyone else has found, don't you have to come out anyway? Otherwise, you'll just be weird. So, I mean, it's well said. I'm not going to argue with it. Okay, can anybody here tell me some of the best places that you have hidden in a game of hide and seek? Can you think about it? Okay.
Like in the garage somewhere?
In the garage, brilliant. Near the power tools.
Under a bush.
Under a bush, that's amazing. What a great place to hide.
I stood on the shoe cupboard and then I put a coat over my head and hung it up.
Fantastic, looking like a hat stand. I love that.
Under the stairs.
Under the stairs is a brilliant place to hide.
A secret place.
A secret place. That's good. I mean, don't give it away here. What a bad thing to do that would be. Excellent. You are clever.
Behind the sofa.
Behind the sofa. That's a brilliant place. My brother used to hide behind the sofa with all of the chocolate mousses from the fridge. We all had one each as kids, and my brother would take 4 and sit behind the sofa. There we go.
Kitchen storage.
Kitchen storage. Parents, if you're listening, be warned. Make sure all the bottles are done up to the click.
Under a bed.
And another bed hider. I love that.
I hide it under the sofa.
Under the sofa. Wow, you can just sneak in there. That's amazing. Well, right, I'm going to do 3 more. These 3, and then that.
A cardboard box.
You hid in a cardboard box. That is superb.
In my cousin's clothes cupboard.
In the clothes cupboard with the door open.
Under my mother's bed.
Under your mum's bed. Well, that is brilliant. You guys are amazing. I wanted to show you some pictures of some animals that are brilliant at playing hide and seek. Have a quick look at this. This is just for fun. Look at this dude. He is good at hide and seek. How about this? Do you know that thing is called a mossy frog? How cool is a mossy frog? I never knew. This one's good at hide and seek. An octopus, well done. Look at that one. A sea dragon. A sea dragon. I mean, this is fun. I don't need to get onto any other talk. We could just do this. Look at that. That is brilliant. That is a tawny frogmouth. That classic bird. If you don't like the old arachnids, you won't like this one hiding in a tree. Oh! Don't get too close to that tree. Beautiful. How about this little fella? Oh, look. That's good hide and seek. Okay, 2 more. So we've got some kind of leaf chameleon, but we've also got a human in camouflage. That is pretty good camo. Can you see it? Can you guess what it is yet? Right, okay. Okay, I'm now kind of lost where I'm supposed to be. I'm having fun, though. Okay. Right, I have got some more questions for you kids. Well, you're going to help me in just a moment. Yeah, you are. How good do you think that I am at hide and seek? I just want to get your opinion of me. So if you think I'd be really good, could you stand at that end, kids? Could you stand there if you think I'm brilliant at hide and seek? Could you stand down there if you think I'm pretty rubbish at hide and seek? Let me see what your vote is. Okay, right, I see. Well, thank you. Thanks for your honesty. I appreciate it. Thank you. Look how far you're going. Yes. Oh, they're doing cartwheels or something. I thought they were just saying how amazing I would be, but they've just run away. Parents, there's 2 kids playing hide and seek as we speak, in case I lose them for you. Okay, here's another question then. How good do you think God would be at hide and seek? If you were hiding and God was the person finding, go that way if you think God would be brilliant at finding you. Well, that's really good to know. Come back in, because I've got one more thing to say to you guys. That's really good to know. Come sit down. That is absolutely right. It's impossible to hide from God. That's a great comment. What about if I hid under my bed? Could God find me there? Yes? Okay, what about if I dressed up as a hat stand and had a coat on my head? Do you think God could find me there? What if I hid in a cardboard box or in my friend's cupboard? Okay, he'll find me absolutely anywhere. That is such a good thing to know, because he's just the best at hide and seek. And whenever we try to hide from him, he's amazing at finding us. He is the best. And do you know, there's this story in the Bible called the parable of the lost coin, and I'm sure you know it. But this lady, she loses a coin. And she's really worried about this precious coin that she's lost. And so she searches everywhere. She's trying to play hide and seek with a coin. Where could it be? Is it over there? Is it under there? Is it under that towel? I can't find it anywhere. And she searches and searches, and suddenly she finds it. And she picks it up, and she is so excited to have found this coin that she gets all of her friends and neighbors. I mean, that's how excited she is. She gets her friends and neighbors and says, have a party with me. I found this coin. I know. Could you believe it? And the purpose of the story is for us to know how much God celebrates when we are found by him. God will, all your life, will be looking for you. Allow yourself to be found by him because you are so precious in his eyes and he loves you so much. Now, the final thing I need you to do is to show me how good you are at hide and seek. This is a little picture that was taken by my daughter of me this morning with a lovely tub of sweets. Look how happy I look. I was ecstatic to have these sweets, but then unfortunately, I put them down somewhere and I got very sad. Are you ready to put the smile on my face? Somewhere in this building is my tub of sweets. Could you bring them to me, please? Not this building, this room. Somewhere in this room are my sweets. Please get them. Okay, don't go on the baptismal pool. Oh, dear. Okay, not up there. Come down. Yes, they've been found. Stop searching. Don't go up the stairs. Don't go on the balcony. Don't do anything. Come back, come back. Look at this. Now, hold on a second. Now, I know that some people have allergies. If you aren't allowed to have one of these sweets, then please do be careful and don't take one. But, Nikki, could you perhaps take those to the back? Oh, actually, Ari, you there. Could you take them to the back and give them to Pauline? Kids, just a second before you go. You're going to go to the back now and get your activity packs, and then you can go and do them either with wherever you were sitting or in the gazebo. So have a nice time and grab yourself a sweet as well. Thank you very much, kids. And I'm happy again. Oh. Well, they all survived. That's a good thing. Yeah, whew, I'm sweating. I just want to pray for all of the primary school teachers who are going back tomorrow. That was like 10 minutes. I'm done. No. Okay. I've got about 10 minutes to speak to us grown-ups while the kids are doing their activities. And I want you to know this, grown-ups. And as I wrote this, I felt that for some of you here today, for some of us here today, this is all you need to know. As this new academic year kicks off, I wrote this: I hope you know how loved you are, and that wherever life takes you, you can always be found by God. I hope you know that this morning. And if you're struggling, and if there's been some difficult situations and circumstances that you're walking through or you're walking into, know that you are loved. And he is the best seeker in the world. He will find you. My short talk today for us grown-ups as well is about hide and seek. Hang on. Let me just make this font a tiny bit bigger. Just chat amongst yourselves, because I can't even see what I'm up to. There we go. Okay. Thank you. So my talk today is about hide and seek. And we know as grown-ups that there is nowhere we could go. We couldn't go and hide with a towel on our head and God wouldn't be able to find us. In fact, Psalm 139 tells us that there's nowhere we could go in the whole universe. As high as we could go, as low as we could go, as wide as we could go, God is there. And yet so many of us at times try to hide from God. It's pointless, but we're not alone in doing it. And I did a whistle-stop tour of the Bible, and I found some other people whose stories include hiding away. Those whose journeys have got them just hidden and in secret. And what I intended to do today was to do 2 minutes on 5 different stories, but as I wrote it, it was never happening. So I've got 10 minutes on one story. So there's 4 left for another time. But before we do that, it's really important that I tell you 2 testimonies so we can give glory to God. And these aren't recent testimonies, but they are true. I used to be a PE teacher a long time ago, and I suffered with hay fever all my life growing up. Does anyone else have hay fever? Has anyone else struggled with that this year? So I used to be out on the field, and I'd be teaching, I don't know, let's say shot put. And so I'd pick up this shot put, and I'd be showing the kids how to do it, and then at some point I'd touch my eyes. And that would be that. I'd know I'd be out there for 5 hours that day, and my eyes were killing me, and it didn't seem to matter what I did. I couldn't get rid of this hay fever. My eyes were killing me. I'd be sneezing. It would be terrible. One day I came to church here, and I was talking to somebody about my hay fever, and they said, well, God hasn't got that for a plan for your life. We need to pray for you that your hay fever gets healed. Seems like a good idea. That's the sort of thing we would do as Christians. So I said, yes, please. How many of us have said yes, please, thinking, I'm not really expecting it to happen, but at least it's nice. At least someone cares enough to pray for me, and that's also a good thing. So, okay, Lord, go for it. So someone just put their hand on my face and said, hay fever, go now in Jesus' name. I went to school the next day, and as I was out on the field and I was teaching, I was looking at kids who were sneezing and sniffing and having all sorts of problems, and I suddenly thought, I don't have that. It's hard to know you haven't got something. It's like, when did your headache stop? You don't really know. You know when you've got it, but you don't know when it stopped because it's just not there. And suddenly I didn't have hay fever. And so I put my hand in the grass. I'm like, come on. And it was gone. And it has been gone to this moment, which is amazing. I'm so grateful that God did a miracle in that moment. Here's another story. It involves my sister and her husband at the time and their son, who is now grown up. They've got 2 sons now, but one who was young and a little baby at the time. They were in the car driving back late at night on a wet road, and my mum suddenly got an urgency to pray. God just suddenly said to her, pray for their safety now. So mum just started praying that they'd be safe in the car. At the same time on this wet road, their car hit the side of a lorry, and the car began to turn and spin, and everything apparently went into slow motion for my sister, and she remembers looking across at Dave. They said, I love you. They even said, I love you to their son. And the car was spinning. It was about to go. It just turned like this, and then suddenly it went down onto its wheels and rolled neatly along the carriageway until it came to a stop. And the moment it came to a stop, there was a guy standing by the window who said, are you guys okay now? They're like, yeah. And then they looked at each other, turned around, and he was gone. Now, I believe 100% that was angelic, divine sort of involvement in that situation, in that moment. That is an amazing testimony. The reason I'm telling you those testimonies is because in just a little while, I'm going to unpack something that the enemy does with our testimonies, okay? So just hold on to those 2 stories for a sec. Okay, we are going to go beyond hay fever and beyond a car to the story of Adam and Eve, because hiding from God is as old as humanity. In Genesis 2, we see that God has made a garden, and he puts Adam and Eve in the middle of that garden to look after it and to tend it. All of it is yours, God says. At the center of the garden, there are 2 trees. We might be fooled into thinking there's only one tree because we only really hear about one of them, but there are 2 trees. There's the tree of life and there's the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And God says to Adam and Eve, the whole garden is yours. Everything, anything you want, it's yours. You can eat from every tree, but you cannot eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. That's the one, you can't touch that. If you do, God says, you're going to surely die. How tempting is that, by the way? Imagine you've got a table set up with loads of different sweets around it for the kids. And I put the sweets there, and I make a lovely, beautiful one in the middle, a lovely pile of sweets, and say, you can have all of the sweets you like, but don't touch that pile in the middle. That's really special. Okay, don't touch the middle pile, but you can have the rest. If we filmed them as we left the room, or even us grown-ups, we know that the things that we're not allowed in life, for some reason, are just the most tempting. And he said to Adam and Eve, you can have everything, but not that. I think that what's really interesting about this story is that they were allowed to eat from all of the fruit, all of the trees, including the tree of life. They had access to the tree of life, but instead, enter stage left. A serpent comes in. And the serpent deceives them with a question. Did God really say? Did God really say that if you eat that fruit, you're going to die? That is his classic whisper. Did God really say? We all experience it, particularly when we're in a moment of doubting what we're doing in our lives. Doubting that he's called us to something. We're sure he called, but now we're not so sure. Things aren't going as easily as we hoped, and the enemy starts to say, did God really say you should do this anyway? Did God really say that? One of the things about the two testimonies is that over time, the enemy whispers in your ear. Today's miracle, somewhere down the path, becomes just another story of fortune, of good medicine, I hear that people grow out of hay fever. Some people grow out of hay fever as they grow up. That could have happened to me. No. But the enemy whispers, did God really do a miracle? Or did you just reach an age where no longer did hay fever bother you? The testimony in my family has moved from miraculous to just, we don't know who that guy was, but he was only there for a second, and we were so lucky that we rolled down the road. What happens over time is miracles disappear, and part of the reason we allow them to disappear is because the enemy's in our head, saying, did that really happen? Was your brother, my brother, was he really miraculously healed of stage 4 cancer with 50 tumours in his body? The answer is yes. Was he really actually just really blessed that at the time when immunotherapy was coming out, he was in the right place at the right time? And isn't it wonderful what medicine did? It's so easy to hear the whisper of the enemy. Did God really do that? Did God really say that? Did God really call you to this thing? Did God really say speak to that person because it's gone hard now? Did God say give that money? Did God say volunteer that time? Particularly when the going gets tough. Did God say to us, leave your careers and set up a charity? We believe he did. Did God say we should lay down that charity and start working into the church? That was the hardest thing ever. And lots of people thought, no, I don't think that seems like the right decision. What are you doing? We're like, I think God's saying it. And the enemy's saying, did God really say? You see how the enemy can get into our heads. Don't allow him to get you with the classic question, because it will come. At various times in your life, the enemy will say to you, as he said to Adam and Eve, did God really say? Did God really say that if you eat that fruit, you'll die? You won't die, he says. You'll just have great wisdom. You'll have such incredible understanding. You should do it. God is just a bit nervous because you are going to become like him. Go on, have a little bite. It's going to be okay. It's a bit like the old lady, the witch lady in Snow White. Go on, just have a bite. It's going to be okay. So Eve, who was there with Adam, the story says, so it's not her fault, they were both there together. Eve took a bite and Adam tasted it too. The deception of the serpent had won, and it led to disobedience. We need to be careful of that too, because there are always voices that are challenging what God has said. There are always voices trying to deceive us. You need to get people around you, as I do, who you trust, so you can discern what God is saying when there are loads of voices going on in your life. The deception here had led to disobedience, but it got worse, because when the disobedience happened, suddenly they looked down and they saw that they were naked. They hid. They were ashamed. And then there's this tragic part in the story. In the cool of the day, God is walking through the garden and he can't find Adam and Eve. He can't find his beautiful creation. Where are you? Where are you? He cries. We realized we were naked and we were ashamed, so we hid. Adam replies, who told you you were naked? This tragic story unfolding. And then suddenly from shame comes blame. Who told you you were naked? And Adam suddenly thinks, I'm blaming other people. I'm going to blame you, God, and I'm going to blame Eve. It was the woman that you gave me. You gave her to me. There she is. She took it and she gave it to me and I ate it. It's your fault, God. It's her fault. How many times do we do that? How many times do we do that when we get caught doing things we shouldn't be doing, when we get tied up in stuff we shouldn't be tied up in, when we feel ashamed? Rather than take ownership, we start looking around to see who else we can blame. We blame other people, we definitely blame God. I regularly blame God. Adam's not on his own in this one. It's your fault, you gave her to me. I was fine before she came along. If she hadn't been here, I wouldn't have had it. Eve doesn't blame God, doesn't blame Adam, blames the serpent. That's the way we should be when we're under pressure. It was the serpent deceived me and I did eat. It's so much better than how Adam responded in that circumstance, in that situation. When we're ashamed, we can start to blame others. So they were naked, it led to shame. They hid, it led to blame. And God knew that they had to have a consequence for their actions. And the consequence was they now had to leave the garden. He had to throw them out, and you may think that's really harsh, but as I've looked into it and been reading it again and again, I've realized that God had to protect them now from the fruit that they were allowed to have before. Remember, there are two trees. There's the tree of life, there's the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Don't have the second, but you can have the first. But now you have tasted the fruit you weren't allowed. Now you have fallen. I can't let you taste the fruit from the tree of life because I can't have you for eternity in this state. I can't have you fallen forever. I have to get you away from that tree. I can't trust you to not touch its fruit because I know it will be too tempting. You have to get out of here. I'm going to put an angel on the gate with a sword that cannot allow you to get back in here and spend eternity in a fallen, shame-filled state. But don't worry, because I have a plan. And one day my son will die on a cross and he will rise again so that you can live in a state that you were designed to be in, where you are not fallen but you are restored, and there is hope and there is eternity as you've been designed to be. Sometimes I used to think, that's a bit harsh, God, you didn't need to kick them out of the garden. But now I understand that it was to protect them, it was for their own good. I wrote this: my beautiful children, I can't have you living forever in this fallen state. And so you now have to leave the garden. I'll position angels with a sword to stop you ever coming back this way, because the way for you is not in this direction anymore. Your journey's now out there. But one day you will be saved by the cross of Jesus, and you will be restored to the state that I created you to be in. So you can then taste eternity and live forever in the way that I designed you to live. You are going to live forever, kids, but not like this. Not in this fallen state. So you must go. And he banished them. And he punished the serpent. And the serpent one day would fall and be destroyed forever. But even though there were consequences, even though they had to leave, he loved them. And he clothed them. I find this bit of the story beautiful. Have a read of it in Genesis 3. There they are, covered with leaves, because they're ashamed and they're hiding. And God himself makes some beautifully crafted animal skin clothes that will cover them as they leave the garden. I love this about God, because God knows they don't need clothes. I think if my kids wanted something that I knew wasn't what they should have, I'd just be like, you don't need that. If I was God in this situation, you don't need clothes. You only know you're naked because of what the serpent said. You don't need them. But God, in his love, his compassion, he sees their plight, he sees how they're feeling, and he clothes them. I think that's just beautiful. They don't need it. And they only need these clothes because of the bad decisions they've made. But he makes clothes because he loves them so much, despite their bad choices. And he helps them in the situation that they find themselves in, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. He gets involved into that situation and shows love in that. It's beautiful. If you're feeling today in any way that you are ashamed of some decisions you've made, that you feel like you would just like to hide away from God, or maybe you've been hiding away from people for a long time. Maybe you hide like Where's Wally? You hide in plain sight, in the middle of a crowd, hoping nobody really knows what's going on. Know that even if you hide in that circumstance, God loves you and is for you and is wanting to make a set of clothes for you, to clothe you in that, and to keep you safe and to look after you and love you despite bad choices. Be aware that the enemy comes to deceive you and me. And that deception that he brings can lead to disobedience. And that disobedience can lead to shame and make us hide away from God. It can also lead to blame, where we blame everybody but ourselves. How many times, as I've said, do we blame others for our own bad choices, for the situations we're in, for the decisions that we've made? But also remember this, guys, that even in our bad decisions, in our bad actions, in our selfishness and our fallenness, God loves us. He comes looking for us, and he's coming looking for us today, saying, where are you? By the way, he knows the answer. It's like when you're searching for a toddler and all they've done to play hide and seek is sit on the floor with their eyes shut. He looks at us today, each of us, and says, where are you? Where are you? Where are you at? Speak to me, talk to me. Let me show you my love. And when he finds out the mess that we've got ourselves into, he'll love us, he'll clothe us, he'll lift our heads, and he'll definitely restore in us a hope and a future. See why I couldn't do 5 stories today? That one didn't take 2 minutes. I'd love to pray for you. Lord, I thank you that there is nowhere we can go where we can escape your love and your generosity and your kindness and your faithfulness and your hope. Lord, like Adam and Eve, we've made some bad decisions. We know we have. We're all ashamed of things we've done and ashamed of things that we should have done but we didn't. Lord, for those of us today who are hiding from you, thank you that you are there saying, where are you? Come on. Out you come. Let me restore you and give you your hope and your future and show you some love. Thank you, Lord, that your story is one of loving us relentlessly all the way from Genesis 3 to the end of the Bible for eternity. Thank you that you are for us and not against us. Amen. Guys, if anybody would like any prayer into anything I've said, there'll be a prayer ministry team here at the end. People at home, there's a slide that will be there for you so that you can get some prayer too, if that would be really helpful for you. In the building, there's the Connect Lounge over there for teas and coffees if you want to find out a bit more about the church. For the rest of us, teas and coffees over there. Don't forget to pick up your children at some time. Do have a fantastic day and have a brilliant bank holiday weekend. We are just going to head back into one final worship song, which I almost cut out there. Sorry, not deliberately, got overexcited. So we're going to come back into one more time of worship, and then all of that stuff that James was going to say, I've already said. So have a nice day.
Would you like to stand if you're willing and able? We're going to finish with another song with some actions. So if you would like to join in, please do.
In my wrestling, in my dance.
thank you. Oh. Probably. Oh. Ooh. That was not meant.
Then I chuckled. You mixed up.
Yeah. I cannot be held responsible.
Just